Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Mayar. On this video I'm gonna explain the create statement. Create statement is a statement where we create a new message field. You could come to this website on IBM website and learn more about that, but I will work on each of those one: next sibling, first sibling, last sibling. And there's a good example. You could come right here and learn the example of how to use the create statement. But before that, also we need to make it our code standard way, not like this is the fine way, but it's not a recommending way. This will make your code slower. First we need to give a reference to this section, then we're gonna create another. We will create a create statement to create those fields like breakfast menu and food. So how should we do that? Let me send the message. You will see it what I mean. That this is, if you check right here, message and break XML, and that we will give a reference to this point, to breakfast menu. So you will give, let's give a reference, then I will talk. I will say the input, this is my input, and we give the reference. Reference means you pointing to the location. I want to pointing to the breakfast location up to this point. When it's come to input, it's always input root.xml dot input root is up to right here. Then you pick which message tree you want, property, HTTP input header, or XML. I want XML and then breakfast menu. So I already wrote this code. You could go back to my previous menu if you're not following videos, if you're not following me. So we just say input, either you write it up or just copy paste it. And now we will replace that all code. So let's replace it, because let's write it up. Always a good way to describe your code. What is this for? So I'm going to replace all up to this way, and you use Ctrl F and replace everything. Now I replace, you see there's a less code. This also I replace. I don't want to replace that one. Now okay, now I replace everything. Like you see, is a less code. It is a good for developer that they use less code. And also, like each time the program not gonna go to create this tag, like each time then I go all the way right here and then create this tag. We reference it once, then we pass it right here. This is our correlation name, then we give them reference to this location. So we're doing this one to same thing. How should we do it with a create statement? Let's go with a create statement. We will use the create field first time, the first method, then we're gonna move on to the next one. Either you say declare first time output, this way is fine too, but you say reference to, you declare output, because on the output we will say output. You could say up to domain after, but you cannot reference it since we do not create it more like breakfast menu. We cannot do it right now, right here, because we don't have this one. But for this one we had it. If you check right here, we send it from outside, it get created. That's why we give a reference. But for this one we cannot do it to breakfast. First we need to create it. That's why we want to create. We use a create statement. We say we create it first. Now we say create. Pick any of those one you want. LASTCHILD, create field. What do you want? I want to say create field, and I want to point it to up to this one. You see output is right here too, and XML and breakfast. I want to create it up to this point. Now it's fine. Now we create the output, but we need to pass that one because we didn't use it right here. We create this one, but we didn't use it. How should we use it? You could use the keyword as and pass the variable you declare it, output, and always put a description, and we pass the output. So what we do, now we replace that one. You see this one representing this all. If it's representing, we replace it right here. We're going to replace it again, Ctrl F and replace all. See, that becomes so less code, no headache. We're doing everything. This way was one way. You could do it another way too. Let's copy the one. This way is the one way. You don't need to declare first time one thing, because we replace everything. They replace that one as well for me. I don't want to replace. Now put it back. This way, one way we did it. Let's copy the one. We could do it different way too. So what we gonna do, instead we reference it first. I will cut it. I could reference it once I create it. First I want to create the message tree first, then I create it, then I will clean up this one. This is the easy way to remember. So just now you reference it till, because right now we have a breakfast menu we created, so we're gonna point it to the location. So this way is fine too. This is the second way you could do it. And also one more thing, if you check right here, I wanna point you something. If you work with a value, you could pass the value. If you work with a name, this value represent, let's say this value represent, if I want to add a value, like to this name I want to add value, you could say value and add the value to it. Or when I say name, this represent this tag itself, this element itself, the name. If I want to create another this name, I don't need to create it right here. I say value the name. But how should we do that one? Like using the value keyword. How should I, let's create another child. I'm gonna create another child. And also one more thing I wanna point you, I don't need to say each time set keyword. You could use directly the statement up to this point, but that would be too much code too. But just I wanna point it to you. You could do this one. This is for learning reason. What I'm telling you is just for the learning reason. You could do this one as well. There's nothing wrong with it. So what you do right now, you don't need to use equal sign right now. Let's hard coding and say value. When you say value, just pass the value right away. I say I don't need to get it from the input. I just want to say apple. And same thing, I want to repeat it. See how easy it become, but it's still too much code. We said create and keep doing that. But you could say this one, create up to this one, and if you want to create more thing to it. But that would be something like this is the price, and price has a dollar sign to it, so $2 something, and this is a description. I say Apple description. You could put anything to it, any description you want. Apple description and the calorie, how much is calorie? I say 22. See, now we have all the data on this way. So what this cause? The issue. Just be careful when you copy paste, because sometimes it cause the issue right here is a min crystal. You're gonna copy up to point. This is a description. Now it's fine. See, there's a, but not third one. Third is this one. This will be a 4 sibling. Otherwise, you will override it. So just be careful what you're doing. 4. So now we create 4 sibling. You see, 1 to 4. If you want to use as a, that become too much. We will check it. This one we will check. Always clean up your code. Let's not waste time right now. Let me fix it and come back. So I cleaned up. Always is a good idea to put a description: first child, second child, and fourth child. So this is the value. Let me do, because even I checked it right now. Let's check and see. let's complete that one, because I don't wanna debug it. You could debug it by yourself, but I do not want it because that takes some time. So I want to terminate it, and I want to send data. Check now. We get all the 4 child. This is the hard coding, $2 and Apple description, and we did same thing whatever we want. Let's use the create as a last child. We could do that as well, and you could, if you want to add one more tag to breakfast menu, let's say you want to add one more tag to breakfast menu, you could use it name tag. See the name tag? Once you use the name tag, then pass it. You see food, but since the food is array, be careful. Right here is array. That would cause, like, because we're using this way, that would cause an error. So now this work as a, I'm gonna put it this way right now. You could use it this way. There's nothing is wrong with it. All we did that we create another child. This is fine too. What this caused the issue? Okay, right here it's, you see, this is fine too, but because of the we create another to this menu. We create another element to this menu that would be like dot food, and we don't need to use that anymore. The this output will represent unto this point, but the point is right here that will cause the issue. You see, there's an error tag. We cannot do that one. So what we do that, I'm gonna make that one as a create last child. So that's why I will use create last child, first child, so it will work fine. I will make this one as a last child. So I'm gonna make this one as a last child, and also I will say create last child. So this is become last child. Now let's put this one back to the regular one. So now I'm gonna make this as a next sibling. This is my last child. You could do this one, last child, and put it and put your name, and this is my, that way we create the tag name. So you don't need to pass the same tag, but let's work with that cause. We create a tag for the XML, which is breakfast menu. Then from right here we creating another one, but I don't need to create each time with a list. I could say let's create list tag, only 2 tag first, because we already know first child and last child. Just create the first child. I just want to create this tag and next tag, because this is a breakfast. I want to create another tag. I will say create next sibling, because this is a breakfast menu. I want to create next sibling for this one, which is a food sibling. So I want to create next sibling, and this next sibling is up to, because I don't need to create. You could write up from beginning again. I don't need to write it up from beginning, because this one represent everything. So up to output, up to breakfast menu, I want to create the next child to this one. Say this one as, you could use as keyword and pass any name to. I wanna, because for the learning reason, make it a little bit faster, copy paste. You pick any name right here, it's up to you. Now we pass the name. What do you want? Like next sibling, I wanna this time food, next sibling, and clean up this. Right now I will, because this one represent up to food, I don't need to use it. I'm going to replace that one with only output. See, the first one I represent that one. What about the second child? We could do same thing to that, or you could leave it like this way. Let's check if it works. This one is next sibling and this is a second sibling. If it works this way, let's do it and check. Let me deploy if that caused issue or not. So there is a couple mistake I did, that's why it gave me the exception. because I create food to breakfast menu, I need to create it to food. So I could pass that one right here, dot, and create food as my name tag right now. So we're going to that would be my first, instead of sibling, first sibling, create next sibling, I want to create first sibling. This is my first sibling, which is food on a breakfast menu, and that would be defeat food. On that one I'm gonna add the value to it, like so. That's why that was the cause of the issue. So I passed that one on a XML as a breakfast menu, and a breakfast menu we pass another sibling as a food, so that gonna cause the issue. So food first child, you could add like pass it as another whatever. Let's say first child, I will put ff first child. Let's say we will pass that one double d, so that become first child. But this is complaining, we need to pass that one right to, we need to declare it. You could declare it to different statement, but I want to declare it on that one since I already done it, and pass that one right here, first child, replace that one with it. That's my first child. So, and this one is my sibling. Let's pass the, instead of that I'm gonna put double G and replace all this one with it with sibling. So I need to pass that one as well to declaration, because that way this is already passed right here, is not complaining. So this is a next sibling of my food, and the same like this is my first child, same name, and this would be my next sibling of my this. And so that way you could create a last child, same thing, last child, and keep doing that, next child, or last child. Let's run and see that how that gonna work. Let me deploy if everything is fine. Okay, let's get deploy. Let's go. Hopefully no mistake, it's fine. And check breakfast to menu is fine, we're gonna check. So now it's work fine. You could do it this way, it's up to you. So which way you like it, you could do it, but just like make sure you're not because sometimes you do mistake, there's a no, and you could fix it back. There's nothing wrong with that. Doing mistake is fine. You could create a large child like hard coding the way we did it before. You say you could, let's do it if it work, otherwise we will hand it up. Let me fix it and come back as a large child. So you could do this one. I just hard code some data to it, like Apple. I get price from the tag, same price, and calorie. I just hard coding. It's up to you. You could do it. So you debug that one if you want to. So it's up to you. You could do this way. And let me see if there's anything more left it. It's almost we cover name, value, and create statement. First child we cover, next sibling we cover. So create first child we cover, and we're creating this way component, like move that one to that one, the same thing. Either you put same thing or cursor on that one. So I don't think anything left. If anything left, write it on a comment below. I'm gonna answer it. See you on the next video.